Hello and welcome to Quora Queries. I'm Q and I will be taking you through today's Q&A. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment if you want more questions like this. Now, let's get into it. My landlord is evicting me because I'm 2 years late on rent. How do I tell him I'm not leaving no matter what? Wow, it seems like the OP really settled into his reality. I'm like a houseplant, I've taken root, you can't just uproot me now, kinda situation. But let's see what the community thinks of this. Reply 1. Why would you put the landlord through this? You lived there 2 years for free. Most landlords would give you a 5-day notice then start an eviction if not paid. Then the court will give the landlord judgment for back rent and court cost that will destroy your credit and an order of possession. If you don't leave by a set date, the county sheriff will physically remove you and your possessions. Everyone blames the landlord for being mean, but they also have bills to pay. Reply 2. If you're serious about telling your landlord that you will not vacate voluntarily, the best way to do so is by singing telegram. Make sure the message is short, to the point, and, above all else, has a catchy hook that the performer can make memorable. If the service allows you to pick the melody, I would suggest Baby Shark. When you receive the formal notice of eviction, just ignore it. I mean, who would evict a tenant that sent their landlord a singing telegram? Only a humorless prig would do so. Clearly, such a person isn't worth your time or attention. When the sheriff shows up at the door, don't answer it. If they knock, yell, "No one's home." If they enter anyway, it's just them being really friendly. Heck, they may even offer you a gift of some stainless steel jewelry, and a free ride downtown if you play your cards right. Above all else, you should remember to tell people that the revolution is coming and rent is legalized robbery. That will, surely, get people's attention. Be sure to insist on your right not to leave property you don't own, and for which you haven't paid rent in 2 years, because you are special, and evicting you is picking on you. Well, OP is definitely not making any new friends. I think no singing telegram would help you out of this situation. Let's keep going. Reply 3. You are, to be honest, a disgusting example of a human being. You are basically stealing from this landlord, who has allowed you to live in his property, which you were expected to pay for. Why would you think that you don't have to pay him for this? I do not understand your mental attitude. You want to live in this house, you pay the money for the rent. If you don't want to pay, get the hell out. The landlord can then have someone who is willing to be decent and fair, who will pay the rent. You certainly are neither. Reply 4. Sorry, not sorry OP, but you are the a-hole in this situation. WTF, haven't you paid your rent in 2 years? The freak you expect when you didn't pay it for 2 years. Even if the landlord was an a-hole, you still have to pay. In my situation, I have to pay my December rent this month, January, because she wasn't there to give the money to and the system was down, but for 2 years you haven't? Utterly ridiculous. This has to be a fake post, because no one is that entitled, and honestly stupid. If this is real, I hope the cops put you in jail, and make you pay it back or you actually get evicted. I hope it is the first one. Reply 5. I had a tenant do this to me. It's not right. I'm a single mom and literally rented a furnished place for way cheap, just barely the cost of the mortgage and insurance. I let the damn place foreclose because of it. She's someone else's problem now. Reply 6. Do what? You're 2 years late on rent. You should have saved up enough to buy a house by now. This person is running a business. It's as if you go to a restaurant and say you're not paying the bill. Get your stuff and get out of that man's house. You wouldn't want anyone to treat you in this manner, so please don't do it to another person. That's reality OP, you can't expect to do someone wrong and come out unscathed, own up to your mistakes and move on. Reply 7. I think he knows that already. What you have going for you is the fact that he's let you go free for 2 years. He is either too rich to care or is incredibly naive and meek. When one gets legally evicted, it's not up to the tenant to leave. They are ultimately kicked out by the papa and their stuff is put at the curb. My guess is that he has hired a third party to evict you, and they most probably don't give two shits about your situation. They are being paid to kick you out legally. You will lose this fight. Going peacefully is much easier than getting evicted. Reply 8. You can tell the landlord all you want. It won't go over so well with the sheriff when they serve the writ of possession though. If you don't leave peacefully, you'll be removed with force. If you resist enough, you won't have to worry about where you'll live. You'll get a hard plastic chair at the county jail until you make bond or you are booked. If you don't bond, you get a cot and a gross mattress. If you do bond, you could enjoy concrete sleeping at 3rd Kenmore under 10 and the 405. Meanwhile, your stuff will be on the curb and the eviction rats will have picked it clean. Reply 9. 2 years and no eviction. It's a troll. Reply 10. Wow, the entitlement says it all. Is there a reason why you couldn't pay rent? Or is it just that you felt you could screw a perfectly good landlord out of his money? You need to grow up and start paying rent. What a freeloader you are. You should be ashamed of yourself. Do you think it's a decent thing to do to live in someone else's home for nothing? 2 years behind in rent. I don't know where you are or what the laws are, but where I am, the landlord can get an eviction notice and turf your no good out. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to turn on the notification button so that you get alerts for the next question. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.